What's up you guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is our 2007 Ford Focus, and if you've seen our channel, you know that this is not only the oldest car that we have on Turo, this is the longest lasting car we've had on Turo. And unfortunately, this car has ran its course, and we've decided we have to get rid of it, and here's why. One of the biggest reasons why we're getting rid of this car is because it's been very unreliable in the past few months. It all started with a simple alternator issue. We replaced the alternator, and then it went out again. And then it went out again, and then it went out again. It's been through 3 alternators. This is the most recent one. This looks brand new, and basically it is. It has about 2 miles on it, but it already shorted out. Now the shop and the manufacturer for this alternator have declared bad remanufactured alternators, which I've been getting free via the lifetime warranty. But it's no longer worth it if we keep having this car having issues, or we have to be concerned that this car is gonna break again. Another problem is the interior of this vehicle. It has a light tan interior, which Aubrey and I hate for our fleet because it gets dirty so fast. And it only takes one bad guess for this interior to look like absolute poo-poo. This is the downside of having light interior. As you can tell, exactly what you see here is exactly how the last renter brought this vehicle back. Disgusting. Now imagine this car ended this trip, it was ready to go on the next trip that was coming up in a few hours. This car would not be easily cleaned in that few hours. Not only that, but the guest broke the center console that we literally just replaced a month prior. This car is gross. Tan interior really hurts this car whenever it gets dirty. Not to mention this car is 17 years old, and when we bought it, it was actually in really good shape, but it's gotten way worse being on Turo. It has permanent race stripes on top because the sun is fading the roof. Multiple dents and dings that each one we really couldn't charge individually for. Accumulatively, they make the car look way worse. Now we've done things like replacing the headlights after trying to polish them, and it really spruces up the look of the car. But when you have things like a faded bumper cover, cracked lower pieces, and even a lower fog light bezel coming apart, it's really hard to make this car look good. Now overall, the car does have dents, dings, and scratches on almost every single corner. It's been backed into, it's been ran into things, but nothing that really shows that the panel needs to be replaced. It just overall accumulatively looks bad. Now this car historically has taken care of us really well. We initially got it, we did have to do a front set of brake pads. The rears, we did have to replace the drums and rotors, and a little long down the line, we did have to replace the front brake pads again. We've also had to do things like tires and alignments numerous times, but this is pretty typical for a car that gets driven a lot. It currently has 221,000 miles, and we're very proud of how long it's made it, but truthfully, the entire car has just degraded down to a pretty bad point, which is why we've decided to sell it. Now with the car's alternator replaced and the vehicle is in good condition, we want to end it on a high note and sell it before we have any more issues with this car. Now one of my biggest pet peeves is that people will sell a vehicle and do absolutely no effort to make it look good. We don't want that. So we're going to make sure this car is in tip-top shape before we put it out on Facebook Marketplace and sell it. So first things first, let's clean out this interior because it's disgusting.
What the hell is this?
Broken stuff, dude. Now aside from the miscellaneous chips that are here and there, all of the seats are in generally a good condition, except for maybe this one that needs to be stitched. Now I actually stitched the driver's side seat. Now I'm no seamstress, but this actually came out pretty good. And this is ultimately why we ended up putting seat covers, because we have this giant rip right here on the driver's side seat. Even the back seats look in pretty good condition. But these carpets have definitely seen better days. Especially this passenger side where it looks like somebody spilled something and it matched the pattern of the actual format that was on here. And unbeknownst to us, while we're doing some cleaning and investigating, we found the rear spare tire is destroyed. I'm actually kind of scared to have this near my face.
Has it got air in it? Holy Okay, let's let the air out.
That's really dangerous. That definitely has to get thrown away, but that is a literal bomb. We're gonna have to get a new spare tire.
The next day.
Just like that, she's cleaned up. It did sit overnight. We cleaned it yesterday, which is why we're in different outfits, but let's give you the tour of how it looks now. We cleaned up the wheels nice and right, got the tire shine on there. Let's look at the inside. Got the inside carpets looking way better, but they're not the best. So we got some new floor mats in there, cleaned them up nice. The seats look so much better. They've been cleaned out, headrest cleaned as well. Back seat looks way better. There was this grease stain or remnants. It looks way worse on camera. You really can't see it all that much in person, but the back seats don't look that bad anymore. All the plastics and trimmed, cleaned up. We just have the outside looking right. Driver's side is way better. Cleaned all the doors out the best we could. Cleaned all the pockets on the inside. And it actually smells pretty decent now. Cleaned all the plastics, dash and trims, windows inside and out. The car is ready for listing photos and pictures. And we replaced the spare with another one I had lying around. Now this car is ready to list out on Facebook Marketplace. We're listing it for a low price of $3,000. And hopefully we get that because this car is solid. It's got a new AC system, a bunch of power steering lines have been redone, a super fresh alternator. Not only that, but it has 4 good tires, 2 new hood struts in the back, and a nice deep cleaning, no farts in the car left behind.
Shortly after HP and Todd got done cleaning the car, it was time to list it on Facebook Marketplace, so HP took photos, a video, and he listed it. Now, originally, with some wishful thinking, we did list it for $3,000, but there wasn't much response at all, so slowly over the course of maybe a week or two, we lowered the price down a few $100s, which is when we really started seeing some activity. And within a day or so of lowering the price to $2,250, the car was sold.
So let's go over the numbers in my super cool, personal, and totally not Aubrey's studio. You can tell it's mine because of my personal belongings, like my Toyota Yaris model, and my Jeep model, and even my Champagne Problems poster, which is my personal favorite Taylor Swift song.
1 for the money, 2 for the show. I never was ready, so I watch you go.
Aubrey and I bought this car back in 2019, and this is even before Aubrey started her YouTube channel. This car means a lot to us, and now we sold it. Not only is this car one of the longest lasting cars in our Turo fleet, it's actually one of the only vehicles that has not had a major damage claim, like ever, in hundreds of trips. Now, while this car has never really been one of our top performers, in fact, it's actually been consistently one of our lowest performers, it's always been consistently rented out just at a really low price. And this car, up until recently, has been virtually bulletproof. And by bulletproof, we mean it hasn't had any major breakdowns other than a few alternator replacements. Sure, we've had to do brake jobs on it a couple of times. I actually learned how to do drum brakes on this specific car because it was the first car that needed drum brakes. And because of that, I was able to then do them easily on all of our other cars like our Yaris's and our Mazdas. It has had a couple of valve covered gasket replacements. It just started to leak oil, but nothing major that would prevent the car from operating. And it wasn't until recently that this car started causing us issues, which ultimately resulted in us needing to sell it. Now, over 5.5 years ago, we purchased this car for $2,300. In fact, when Aubrey told me this information, I honestly didn't believe her, but we had it in our records and the proof was in the pudding. $2,300 cash. Now, in its life on Turo, this red Focus has made us right at $31,000. And when we sold the car, we sold it for $2,000. So we owned this car for 5.5 years. We made $31,000 off of it. We put more than 120,000 miles on it, and we only lost $300 on depreciation. This is why we talk about buying cars at the right price is so incredibly important. I really enjoyed having this Focus in our fleet, but I'm not really that sad to see it go. It was starting to have a ton of issues, and I'm just glad I don't have to deal with it anymore. And I'm going to be honest, the car started getting a little too run down for our fleet too. But there you guys have it. Our red Ford Focus has come and gone. And as always, guys, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And we'll see you in the next episode. With ABC 5 News, this has been HP.